What is the best way to enhance the flavors of this lovely catch? By preparing a nice plate of gnocchi allo scoglio. Let's start preparing the mussels and the clams. I've already left them to purge in water and salt for about an hour. I've already cleaned the mussels really well. If you don't know how to clean them, go on the Giallozafferano site and you will find the steps. In a preheated saucepan, pour in a nice drizzle of olive oil and a ubiquitous garlic clove. Let's wait just a moment for this base to get warmed up. And then I'll pour in the clams. And also the mussels right away. Let's cover that up with the lid and we will wait for them to open up completely. Occasionally though, don't forget to shake the pan using this movement. It helps them to open up. Wow, that's really heavy. They are ready. I will drain them. So in the meantime, they can begin to cool down because afterwards, we have to shell them. Remember to set a few aside as we will use them as the final decoration. Let's filter the cooking liquid. This will get rid of any sandy residues and broken shells, so they won't end up in our sauce. Let's set those aside, and in the meantime, we'll work on the shrimp. It's very easy. Detach the head, then the shell on their backs. Then, the part with their legs, and finally, we'll pull out the intestine. Now we are finished with shrimp, let's get at the calamari. I've already removed their skin, just detach the head, leaving only the tentacles. Then empty the inside. Instead, we will cut the sack up into very thin rings. And back to the stove. Here in the pot is the liquid from cooking the mussels and clams, to which I'll add some water, just enough to boil the gnocchi. I will bring that to a boil. In a saucepan, I will pour in a little oil, and as soon as that heats up, I will add the calamari. Let them cook just long enough to get a good sear on them. I'll immediately add a pinch of salt. And then I will add in the shrimp. We'll quickly let these sear, and then it's time to deglaze the bottom with some white wine. Let the alcohol evaporate, and at this point, we will give it a bit of color, and above all, some creaminess by adding some tomato paste, and temper that with a bit of the cooking water, which in the meantime has come to a boil, so we can cook the gnocchi. It should already be salty, but when in doubt, always taste it. The gnocchi have risen to the surface, meaning that they are cooked. Give that a nice stir, but be careful not to smush them so that they will absorb all those flavors. And speaking of flavor, we must also add our mussels and clams and take that off the stove. Season that with some hand-torn basil leaves and some pepper. One last drizzle of oil and one final stir. And let's plate this bounty. But what do you think? Is there a better way to show off this bounty? In my opinion, no.